What's going on, guys? This is the Red Rogue, and I hope you're all doing well today. For today's episode, I'll be sharing with you all some tips and advice and general information on the Box of Many Things. For those who aren't familiar with it yet, the Box of Many Things is a new talent progression system that was introduced for Torghast in patch 9.1, Chains of Domination. If you played it all during the end of Battle for Azeroth, this is a very similar system to the Titan Research talent tree from patch 8.3. As a heads up, I also have a lot of this information on my written guides over on Wowhead, so I'll leave a link to those in a pinned comment. If you have any further questions though, you can either ask me in a comment below, or you can swing by my community Discord if you want. The link for that will be in the description of this video. Or if you just want to say hi and chat, that's cool too. Before I get too far into explaining the perks and recommendations of the Box of Many Things, it'd probably help to know how you get it. You'll need to enter one of the regular wings of Torghast, as we'll be searching for a broker NPC named Vinish. You can do this on any layer in Torghast, by the way, so just pick a layer 1 clear if you want to make this super fast and easy. Vinish will be somewhere on one of the floors of your Torghast run, so be sure to thoroughly explore each one until you find him. Once you do, pick up his quest and head to the Rune Carver. You can either finish this Torghast run if you want, or you can just completely abandon it if you want to save a little time. Once you bring the Box of Many Things to the Rune Carver, you'll get access to some Tower Knowledge and the talent tree of the Box of Many Things. Tower Knowledge is the currency you'll be needing to unlock traits in the Box of Many Things. You'll earn this from completing Torghast runs, and the better you do and the higher layer you do, the more you'll earn. You can rerun Torghast layers you've already completed for more Tower Knowledge if you want, however there is a seasonal cap that will increase every week, so eventually the game will tell you to chill out on the Torghast farming and to do something else basically. Oh, and as a heads up, the Box of Many Things has no effect on twisting corridors, at least as of me making this video. Each row of the Box of Many Things will have various talents you can invest Tower Knowledge into, giving you benefits for your future Torghast runs. You'll need to spend a minimum amount of points to unlock additional rows and available traits, so this is where the whole time-gated Tower Knowledge thing comes into play, as you can only advance so far in progression once you hit the seasonal cap. All of these traits can be beneficial in your adventures in Torghast, but some are far superior to others, and I'll do my best to point out which ones you'll want to focus on early. By far the most useful thing on the Box of Many Things, and it's in the first row ironically, is the Blessing of the Ancients. This gives you passive buffs that will enhance your Torghast run, and you can have up to 3 of them permanently once you have enough Tower Knowledge invested into it. These buffs can vary from things like getting free anima powers, huge ability cooldown reduction bonuses, and elite enemies randomly exploding and dying when you attack them. I will be doing a video specifically on this topic at some point, but for now I'll probably just be including a screenshot of all the blessings that you can get in your Torghast run for this section of the video, so that way you can pause and look at all the cool things that you'll be able to get. Blessings will vary based on the wing of Torghast you're doing, and on the PTR at least, they changed daily. This is easily one of the first perks I'd start investing in on the Box of Many Things, because it's crazy how strong some of these perks are, and there are a couple that are a little less impressive, but not that many. Empowered Swiftness is an okay little haste and movement speed buff, but it's only active when you're empowered, which is when that blue bar in your Torghast UI fills up from killing enemies, and then you hit an action button and you get a buff. It doesn't really last that long, so this is something I'd wait a while before dumping points into. Efficient Looter, on the other hand, is such a huge quality of life bonus that I'd be tempted to pick this up pretty early in the content. It literally just makes it so you don't have to loot enemies for Phantasma, but that is one thing that slows down Torghast runs a lot for me, and I'm also really bad at looting things when I'm running around killing stuff, so it's something that'd be nice to get sooner rather than later. For row 2, Freed from Torment is monumentally important. If you played in the first patch of Shadowlands, you probably remember the annoying torments of Torghast, which were debuffs applied to you that were specific to each wing of Torghast. Well, those have been replaced in the regular wings by a whole new slew of torment debuffs. The higher of a layer of Torghast that you're doing, the more torments that will be applied to you. Honestly, some of these are downright infuriating to deal with, like getting feared for 3 seconds when you drop below 40% health, which almost ensures that you'll die because of how long the fear is, and the fact that your teeth were probably already getting punched in most likely since you dropped that low in health. Freed from Torment removes up to 2 torments from all your Torghast runs permanently, so yeah, I strongly recommend picking this up as early as you can. You'll thank me later, or not, that's fine too. Empowered Perseverance is not a bad trait by any means, as it extends the duration you're empowered by up to 50%. This lets you earn more points for your end of run score, plus you get the extra haste and movement speed and leech that'll last longer, which is kinda nice. I would say this is an above average trait, but not one I'd be too worried about unlocking early on, since once you know what things give bonus points, you can complete your runs much easier anyhow. If you need a little bit more information on the whole score system thing, I do have a video covering the basics of it, as well as a written guide up on Wowhead if you need a more thorough look through it. Discovered Cache is kinda underwhelming despite how cool it sounds. It has the potential to be really good, but let me explain. Basically, with each rank in Discovered Cache, brokers will have a larger selection of goodies to try and sell you. The first 2 ranks are honestly pretty unimpressive, giving options of some new, rare quality anima powers that none of which I found really all that impressive, as well as the option for 2 consumable rare items, and neither of these felt that great either. Maybe for certain classes some of them are better, but as a rogue, none of them felt all too useful. At rank 3, you get some epic anima power options as well, and these are pretty expensive, but you can get some really good ones, like the Silas of Denathrius. But again, it's random what ones you get, and only a few of them seemed worth it to me for the investment early on. That, and usually it was my luck where I did get there and I didn't have enough Phantasma, and the good one was available, so I ended up getting to use it anyways, so I would pass on this one for now. Row 3 brings a couple really simple buffs, as well as access to the unique section of Torghast, the Adamant Vaults. Undeterred is probably the most unimpressive of perks that has a whopping 5 ranks, as it only reduces damage that bosses deal to you. It eventually does become an impressive 25%, so if you're a bit of a squishy class, then this might be worth it for you. In comparison though, I would focus on Inexplicable Power first. This gives you a damage buff for the first 20 seconds of a boss fight, maxing out at 25% at rank 5. The reason I'd suggest this is because if you can kill the floor 5 boss in under 20 seconds, you will earn the Annihilator bonus points, which is 20 extra points for your Torghast run. If you take 40 seconds or less, then you earn the Executioner instead, which is still 10 extra points. Besides, if the boss dies faster, then he'll hit you less, meaning you're taking less damage anyhow, so kind of a win-win in my book. Now, for the Adamant Vaults, this is a doozy of a topic. Basically though, if you or anyone in your group has this perk active and you complete a layer 9 clear or higher, with a score of 200 points or higher, then you'll get access to 2 bonus floors. These will have a bunch of new enemies and traps and even new bosses, and you can get some pretty awesome transmog from here. You'll also get bonus tower knowledge for beating the boss on floor 7, which is nice if you aren't already capped for the week. Really though, the vaults are just kind of for cosmetic goodies and achievements and stuff, so if you don't want to bother with going there yet, then you can pick this perk up at a later time. Row 4 is admittedly the most unimpressive of the bunch in my opinion. But this just means you can pick and choose more readily with all the rows that you've already opened up at this point to decide what you want to spend your tower knowledge on. Enduring Souls just makes it where any soul remnant you free gives you a 1% stamina buff, which is nice but not exactly a mind-blowing, earth-shattering effect. Good reflexes, for those with slightly less than good reflexes, ironically enough, will probably save you a ton of deaths in Torghast. This perk will reduce trap damage taken by up to 40%, so if you're really not that great at the swinging axes, or the spikes on the floor, or the fire traps, then this may be the perk for you. There is also a torment that greatly increases trap damage, so even if you're usually an expert Prince of Persia of trap avoidance, it might not be a bad idea to take this one. I can't say the same, however, for Death Denied. In its current state, this is just not very impressive for the amount of tower knowledge you'd have to invest. Basically, when you die in Torghast, you will lose 20 points from your overall score. This perk will give you a 5%, 10%, or 15% chance that you don't lose points depending on the rank you have. With 15% being the best that it can do, this is just not a very reliable investment. On row 5, we have a couple solid talents to look forward to though. Unflinching is probably the most useful of all the perks that have 5 ranks to them, as you'll be dealing with a lot of elites in Torghast, and on high layers they do a ton of damage. This will reduce the damage you take from them by up to 25%, so definitely a good choice to pick up as early as you can. Anima Plunderer is okay too, as it basically just means you get 3 extra anima powers per run, as long as you're killing things and not just sneaking through at Mach 9. Basically, when you kill enough enemies, a guaranteed anima cell appears, and it's at 10 enemies, 20, and 30 respectively per rank. Nothing crazy, but definitely better than some other choices on the talent tree. However, I'd consider the Elite Slayer perk to be better as an earlier investment, as it means you're getting the empowered buff more often, which means more points. Elites already contribute a very sizable chunk to the empowered meter, but with a 40% boost from rank 2 of this perk, it means that you're going to have the empowered buff longer, which means more free haste and movement speed and leech, and the bonus points that you earn while you're empowered. For our final row, we only have 2 new options. First is Meddle with Fate, which will give you up to 3 opportunities to re-roll your currently selected anima cell, changing what options are available to you. For any outlaw rogues or compulsive risk takers out there, this trade is kind of enticing as it can re-roll any available anima power. This means a few more chances at epic powers, or you could get garbage 3 times in a row. Honestly, this is kinda just a worse version of Anima Plunderer, as at least Anima Plunder lets you get 3 extra powers instead of just re-rolling powers and still potentially ending up with not good stuff and nothing extra. I'd recommend doing this one at a later time when you've only got mediocre options left to fill out. Empowered Nova, on the other hand, is absolutely worth picking up as soon as you're able to afford it. The amount of damage that Empowered Nova deals can be very impressive in AoE, and even in single target, it's really strong. Combining this with Empowered Perseverance, the talent that increases empowered duration, and Elite Slayer, which means that your empowered meter's filling up faster from elite kills, means a lot more free damage and extra points for your score. Well folks, that was a lot to go over, but hopefully this insight on how all the talents of the Box of Many Things work will make your future Torghast runs easier. A lot of these powers are quite impressive, while there are a few duds here and there that might sound appealing at first, but actually are kinda mediocre. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the video and learning a bit more about the Box of Many Things. If so, maybe leave a like or a comment, as they're greatly appreciated and help the YouTube algorithm decide what videos to show to more new people to the channel. As always, my appreciation and gratitude to all of my viewers, and especially my patrons, who all help make these Shiba Shenanigans possible. Thank you all so much for watching. This is the Red Rogue, and I'll see you guys around.